someone drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. Welcome back. Favorite show on the internet. Episode 227. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I gotta be honest, I don't know what that was. That sounded like a retarded donkey coming out of a rhino's ass. But I'm your other co-host, Malin Dennis. How y'all doing?
And I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And I am your favorite special guest, Junebug Fade.
Can you guys hear us all right?
I heard, well, you fixed yourself, but then you got Doom sounding all wonky.
Yeah.
I hear them fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I can hear you good now.
It's just
You're not echoing now. You echoed for like a second.
Oh, okay.
But you good.
Gentlemen.
Hey, only episode 227.
Yeah, that's it. This is of course, if you're regular, you already know this. But if you're new to the show, which everybody always, most of the crowd here is new to the show. We are an NBA and NFL podcast. We do this show every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Currently, even though we're both NBA and NFL, pretty much just a big NBA show for the time being, up until the NFL draft here. So what is tradition on this show is when we open up, we always start off with a nice cheers. So no matter what you may be drinking, we always raise them up on high here. And it's cheers to a good show. It's good luck.
Cheers.
Ooh.
I missed the shots I used to pour back in the studio.
Don't we all?
Just to fuck with Shaq.
Nestor's taking a page out of my book.
Smooth.
Oh, yeah. Did you drink too much water on this show?
He's been healthy. He's been
That's
on
true.
this healthy kick.
Fuck it all. Oh.
Let's hop into the first topic of the week here. We are going to start off, since we are, I guess, technically a little over halfway through the NBA season, figured we'd do our mid-season power rankings, go through a top 10 of who we think are the best teams in the NBA as of right now. So we will start down low at number 10, work our way up to number 1.
You guys get over there.
Sorry. We will work our way up to number 1. So we'll start at 10. Give a reason as to why you're picking the teams that you are. These don't need to be, this is not ESPN, folks. So these don't need to be like per record, because if that's the case, we could just go through the standings. It's what we personally think, what we're seeing, our opinion on why each team is where they're at. So, June, we're going to start with you. Number 10, who have you got?
I got at number 10, I got the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are they're a sneaky good team in the West. And they've shown this year their moments of being a very good team. But then these last 10 games, they've been 5-5, and they seem to have taken a step back. So All-Star break is over with now. Can Ant-Man lead this team Can he get them higher in the bracket? I know he's seen all those trades going on in the West, teams picking up better players, but yeah, I think they're a good team. I think they're going to be around in the playoffs for a while. So, Timberwolves are my number 10 team in the NBA.
Okay, Malin.
Um, I gotta go Golden State right now at number 10. Part of what I'm doing throughout this top 10 is I'm throwing records out a little bit. Just because so much happened at the trade deadline. I think they're 6-1 or 6-2 since they traded for good old Jimmy Butler. I like the narrative that I heard, and I wish I could give the show credit on FS1, but somebody said, like Jimmy Butler, when he wants to, he just knows how to play ball. And so you can fit him into any system. And when he wants to play, he will make your team better. And so far, him and Steph and them are gelling. I think Draymond Green likes the idea that he doesn't just have to be the asshole all the time, that Butler can be the asshole a little bit. And so, like, I know that, right now they're the 8th seed. But they're coming up. You got some other teams like the Clippers and Houston that are falling back a little bit. So I like where Golden State's at.
Nestor, who do you have at number 10?
Yeah, I have to agree with Malin. I'd say Golden State. You just always have to watch out for them, and especially when we do ride or die. I'm very hesitant to bet against them. So they're always lurking, and now with Jimmy Butler, even more so. So yeah.
I am probably going to be the only person here that has at number 10 Detroit. I've got the Pistons at the number 10 spot. They are playing some very good basketball. I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I'd see the Pistons as a playoff team in my lifetime. But here they are. They should be a playoff team this year. But, hey, Cade Cunningham has been carrying this team. He's been an all-star this year. Wish he would have gotten more than 5 minutes playing time. But, hey, it is what it is. He's been a monster. And that whole team, pretty solid offensive team, good on the offensive glass. Detroit, man, I've been very impressed by them. And, yeah, they're my number 10 right now. So let's move on to number 9. Go ahead, June.
Oh, my number 9 team are the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are, I still think they're a very dangerous team in the East. And whoever plays them in the playoffs is going to be a tough out. Over the last 10 games, they are 6-4. They're coming back strong. They're a team that you're going to have to look out for in the East with, Cleveland and Boston. And the Knicks are going to have to watch that team in Milwaukee because they're going to be right there and they're going to be there to the end. I like the way Giannis is playing. He's taken, for me, it seemed like he was playing he was playing too much team ball, in my opinion. And now I see him really taking over that team. The last couple of games, it's been about him. And so I like that. I like the attitude he's bringing. So, yeah, the Bucks at number 9 right now.
All right. Malin.
Yeah, it's my turn, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. For the same reasons that you took Detroit at 10, I'm actually have Detroit at 9.
Okay.
And so because they're like the Rockets in the West, except when the Rockets have started the slide since before and after the All-Star break. Like Detroit is still playing good ball. They're 8-2 in their last 10. You mentioned all the reasons around Cunningham and everything else that they're doing, and they're just hanging around, man. They seem solid. They're one of those teams to where they don't have the upside is maybe a Golden State, but they're pretty solidified in the middle of the pack in the East. And so I got Detroit at number 9.
Nestor.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Detroit, which is weird. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm gonna have him in a top 10 list. But yeah, give me Detroit. And I was actually watching some old school highlights the other day around some debates around Michael Jordan and LeBron. So interesting. Coincidence? I think not.
I have got. By the way, shout out to G Money in the chat, our very own. He's got the Knicks at 10, saying they can't beat good teams and they don't play their bench. And then at 9, he's got Detroit. They're a good young team and are playing better since the All-Star break. For my number 9, I've got Golden State. Since the Jimmy Butler trade, like Malin was saying, like they have just been a different team. One of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. And it's like, look out for the Warriors. They could be a bad matchup depending on who they get in the playoffs. Yeah, they are kind of right back in the mix in a way. So Golden State is my number 9. So number 8, go ahead, June.
I went back and forth on putting this team in the top 10, but as I watched them, I watched a couple of clips on them. They're a good young team. They're fighting hard, and that's the Rockets. I like the Houston Rockets and the way they're playing. And people don't realize this. This is a team, they go about 8 or 9 deep, sometimes 10 every single night. This team knows how to use their bench, and they're a scary good team. They remind me of what the Thunder was a couple of years ago. That's what Houston reminds me of right now. That scary good team that can come out of nowhere and really be a problem for one of those upper teams in the West. Again, like you guys just said about Golden State, it could be a bad matchup for a team. Can you catch them on a hot streak? And even though they're 4-6 in these last 10, I still believe this is a team that's going to be there. I think they're going to challenge in the West and maybe even come out with winning a series. So, give me the Rockets.
Okay. Houston there. Let me ask you, can you guys hear us any better? Can you hear me any better right now?
I can hear you a lot better.
Yeah, you're louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Go ahead, Malin.
This is where I have New York. For a lot of the same reasons why G Money has them number 10, I have them at number 8. They've played really great this year outside of against Cleveland, Boston, and OKC. They're 0-7 against those 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what worries me about this team is the same thing that G Money. They don't have any depth. Actually, we don't know if they really have any depth or not because Thibodeau doesn't like to play backups. They lead the league in minutes by a big margin, and that's not going to change.
Yeah.
And so part of being my top 10 right now, I'm also looking at, how competitive are you going to be in the playoffs? So they're obviously going to make the playoffs, but I kind of feel like they're going to fizzle. And so I got New York. They're a talented team, but they're just getting tired, and they can't beat the good ones, man.
Yep.
Can't beat the good ones. So...
Go ahead, Nestor.
We're on
8.
8, right? Okay. For 8, give me the Grizzlies. This is purely more, stats than anything else. I just feel like they're second in the West for a reason. Besides just Moran and the other guys in there like Desmond Bain, they play well. They just haven't found a way to bring that, in my opinion, over into the second half of the season. I feel like if they do, they can get something going. But their away record kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. So I feel like if they can just find a way to gel together towards the second half of the season, they can get something going. So yeah, for number 8, give me the Grizzlies.
Interesting. G Money says at 8 he has the Warriors. Jimmy Butler has been the shooter to actually help Steph and take the scoring load off of him. Number 8 for me, I've got the Rockets, and I don't really have to say much more because June said it all for me. They are a very, very good team, young team, and Ime Udoka, man, he's a hell of a coach and has established a culture there in Houston. So, yeah.
Hey, real quick, Jalen. It kind of looks like we got like a little bit of like a shorter show, like we normally do. We're getting G Money's top 10 anyways. If he wants to slide on into the episode, and he can tell us himself.
G Money at home. If you want to come hop
we just do the top 10, then we do it a break. Like G Money, you hearing us, man? Hop aboard, buddy.
Go ahead and slide right up on into this.
Yeah, we'll go from one live listener to none. That's great.
Number 7 is what we're on now. So go ahead, June.
All right, I get a little controversial here at number 7 because I know some people are gonna have them higher, but I got the Nuggets. I got the Nuggets right here because right now the Nuggets, they got a lot of teams. You know, we've mentioned a couple of teams. You know, the Timberwolves, the Rockets. You know, they just got beat by 23 against the Lakers at home. So even though they're 9-1 in their last 10, when it comes down to playoff time, they got some teams they're going to have to face in the playoffs. And I think it's going to get a little tough for them. I think the top 4 teams in the West are going to be very good, very competitive. But it's just those couple of bottom teams that if you do not watch out, they're going to beat you. And I just think that the Nuggets may be that top team that gets put out the playoffs early, and we sit back and say, what happened? Well, they get to they've had a couple of points of the season where they just fell down just a little bit for me personally, you know. So I got him at number 7.
Okay, interesting. Malin.
All right, so I got to be honest. When I was making my top 10, this was just one of those teams that like I kind of forgot about, and I was like, feel like you got to mention them. Even though they probably don't deserve to be number 7. But what does the state of Indiana have going for them anyways, except being number 7 in my top 10? I got to go with the Pacers. Again, like I'm not real big on some of these teams that were like 3, 4, and 5 seeds in the playoffs right now, and the next thing you know, they're like 4 and 6, they're 6 and 4 in the last 10. Like all of it, like you racked up a lot of wins early, but now you're playing really inconsistent. Halliburton, I think, got too used to being on the bench with Team USA. I don't know what's going on this year with him. It looks like he's just underperforming. You know, when Pascal Siakam is going to be your best player, do I think you're going to go far in the playoffs? No. Can you pull a Lance Stevenson and blow in Tatum's ear? Maybe. But I don't know. So I got him number 7 just because I damn sure couldn't put him above anybody else. And I'm kind of a hater when it comes to the Knicks. And I just don't think they're very good at all. But yeah, looking back, I should have had probably Golden State ahead of Indiana when I was making this.
Nestor.
Revisionist history.
I'm gonna have the T-Wolves in there at number 7. I just like Ant-Man and his. I think he is part of what the NBA needs. And hopefully we get a rivalry. I see some highlights with him and SGA. So that's more of like what the NBA needs and what I've been saying the sport needs. But yeah, I just like how they're pretty good defensively with Rudy Gobert in there, and I think Ant-Man brings that spark that they need. So yeah.
G Money has the Mavs at number 7. It says Kyrie is playing like an all-star, and the team has come together since the trade. June vehemently disagrees with that one. But I see where G Money is coming from.
I see where it's come from. But
Again, G Money, if you want to join, feel free. I've got the Knicks.
Somebody's still hurt from that trade.
Yep, I've got the Knicks at
that's
number
feeling.
7. The Jay Brunson Cat connection duo, whatever you want to call it, has been, I think, outstanding for the Knicks. Just a shame that, to me, this team should be ranked higher in the tiers, but like you guys have been saying, Thibodeau, for whatever reason, is very reliant on their starters. I know they've got some injury stuff going on, but that team is, I think they are deeper than what the minute report is, and the rotation should be a bit better because, I mean, come on, like, Josh Hart or not being injured, please, for the love of God. Very reliant on the top part of that team. But hey, the Knicks, I think they're legit with the size that they have, with the experience they have. I think the Knicks are a very, very good team and should be better off in the playoffs than what they were last year, which was by the end of the year just a burnt out team that couldn't get past Indiana because they were just too beat up. And that was the only reason they didn't move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, hey, Thibodeau, you can mess around if you want to, but you're going to have the same result if you burn out all your starters this year. So let's move on to number 6 with June.
Number 6, I got the Grizz. This is where I got the Grizz at here. Number 2 in the West, and that's a pretty big deal to be number 2 in the West. But I just believe, because all the trades that was made in the West, I just believe some teams are going to catch them eventually and just surpass them. I don't know if the Grizz have enough to finish strong by the end of the season. So that's why I got them at number 6 right now. I got to see a little bit more from them. But again, there's a couple of teams I believe in the West that are just stronger than them, and they're going to finish stronger than what the Grizz are. So I got them at number 6.
Malin.
Yeah, I got Memphis at number 6 too. Somebody please explain to me what the hell happened to John Morant. Like, how did he become this generation's Gilbert Arenas? Like, all of a sudden you got guns out. Ain't nobody want to dunk anymore. We just get hurt. Like, come on, man. Like, trying to be Agent Zero out here because he's turning into a big fat zero. Like, what happened to him? Like, he's not even the leading scorer on the team right now. He's not the flashiest. He's not the best player on the team.
No.
What happened with that draft class with, what was it, Zion Williams and John Morant?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
JT
Like,
Barrett,
what?
remember him?
What? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And like June said, man, they racked up a lot of wins early, but again, I'm looking at your last 10. You're 6-4 in your last 10.
Mm-hmm.
I look at what other teams did at the trade deadline. It were like in the same ballpark as you, and they got better, and you stayed the same.
Yep.
And you're not even maximizing the talent that you have right now. So I gotta have Memphis there. They're at number 6 because they're a product of their record more than anything else.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a little bit of shine. But like June said, I think people are going to catch up to them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nestor.
My number 6 is the Nuggets. I think just what happened last season, I just can't have them in the top 5 anymore. I mean, but I can't have them 2 down on the list either because of the Joker, obviously. And then I think Michael Malone is a good coach. And I think you got Jamal Murray in there, and now you have the always talented
Russell Westbrook.
Building homes for the needy. No, man, he's great. I love Russell Westbrook.
Doing God's work.
I love that guy. So again, this is why I talked about Ant-Man. I feel like the league always needs guys like that in there. So yeah, give me Denver at number 6.
At number 6, G Money has the Lakers. Says Doncic and LeBron are playing well together. They just don't have any real interior defense. That's very true. Number 6 for me, I've got the Grizzlies here. I mean, for all the reasons you guys just mentioned earlier. The fact that Ja is not leading the team in points per game, yet they are still the 3rd team in the West, I think. It's pretty remarkable. I gotta give them a lot of credit, and I know Malin was just kind of giving John Moran a bunch of shit, but I mean the fact that he is still averaging 20 points a game, the team leader in assists, like he's playing more efficiently than he was before, where it was just a highlight reel. I think they've at least to some degree cracked the code, and they need to keep playing this way rather than let's just lean on John Morant to do literally everything. So the fact that Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. are more involved, taking some of the load off of John Morant, I think is great for them. And I don't think they'll do much this postseason. But if they could kind of get some more help, that is a legit foundation for a great contending team right there. So, I've got the Grizzlies at number 6. Hopefully Malin rejoins here. I think it's just technical difficulties, but June, we'll go to you for number 5.
So this is where I got your New York Knickerbockers at. And I agree with G Money and you guys said about the depth of this team. And I agree with you, Jalen. They don't use their depth. I think they got some great players on the bench, but they're not using them like they should be. And Thibodeau has been doing that since Iowa State. When he was with the Cyclones, the dude wouldn't go deep into his bench. It's like he gets scared to try to run without his starters out there. Sometimes you gotta, he didn't learn much from Phil Jackson. Phil used to stay out there. And Phil be like, I'm gonna take Jordan and Pippen out, and I'm gonna put the bench out there and say, let's roll. And he did. You have to have a deep team in the NBA if you plan on making a deep run into the NBA Finals. So he has to learn to trust his bench. You got the entire second half of the season to do this. It is now time to trust your bench. You got to get them out there because your team is going to be tired. Your starters are going to be wore out by the time the playoffs come.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to have to get down to that 9th and 10th guy. You're going to have to sit out there for a half a quarter, and you got to watch your bench just play and keep your starters out, even if you get destroyed. Let those guys get some game time, some gameplay. You never know. They might surprise you. So that's their biggest downfall. I think they have a good team. I think they can make a deep playoff run, but you're right. 0-7 against the top 3 teams in the NBA, that's not good.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get some quality wins here, too, down the stretch, if they want people to look at them as a serious contender. So.
All right. Nestor, we'll go right to you because Malin is not back yet. So, number 5, right?
I was realizing I was completely snubbing the Knicks from this list.
No, you weren't.
So, I originally had Giannis and company for number 5, but you know what? Screw them for taking Damian Lillard. So, either way, I don't think they're not gonna do shit. They're just dysfunctional, in my opinion. So, I'm gonna put the Knicks as my fifth on the list.
Okay.
I think with Cat, they are a more like round team well-rounded team, and just all aspects of the game. He's a great center, obviously, undeniably talented, and then you have Jalen Brunson, who's a dog. Like
Right.
never stops. Where he's got that Jimmy Butler energy without the drama. So
Yeah.
you just gotta put them on the list.
No Emu Butler.
No, you move.
G Money has Denver at 5. He says, I thought they would be a better team by this time in the season. Joker at times looks like he's just going through the motions. That's pretty accurate.
Yep. That's why I got him at 7. That's why I put him at 7.
Number 5, I've got LA, the Lakers, that is. Listen, man, since that Luka trade and since, what was that, last night when they played Dallas? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look out. Luka is settling into the Lakers, and LeBron looks like he just went back in a time machine. Like he's back in Miami now because he looked re-energized. He's having fun again. He's not just barking orders and shaking his head. That is a very good team. I know G Money mentioned they don't have interior defense. Like they need size. They absolutely do.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, the Luka LeBron duo is like everything. It's the best possible that it can be. Like
Yeah.
LeBron playing off the ball, knowing like, man, when we need a bucket, it doesn't have to be me. Like this guy can go get his own bucket, no problem, because he's, I think, the best player in the league at that. It's just crazy. And then seeing like LeBron in the fourth quarter just take over because he's got so much energy left in the tank where he can go do that now, and he's not the only option on offense throughout the other 3 quarters was so cool to see. This dude is 40 years old and still the best closer in the NBA. Yeah, the Lakers got something special right now. They really do.
Yeah.
And I think depending on the matchup, they are, I think, the most dangerous team coming up in this playoffs, depending on who it is that they get. But
Yeah.
Luka, LeBron, man, it's like Luka's the quarterback, LeBron's the receiver at this point. Like that is the go-to, rather than it's always LeBron is the quarterback and then Kyrie, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, whoever it might be, is the receiver. I think it's great for them. Malin, we're on number 5.
Yeah, my bad. I don't really know what the hell happened there. Here. All of a sudden my internet wasn't doing nothing.
This is the worst.
All right, so hold on, I need to pull everything back up. Okay. Number 5, I have Denver. And I first of all, I would just like to preface this number 5. A little bit of fuck you to them for the Ride or Die 5 and what they did.
Yeah.
That was some bullshit. But you still won 9 in a row. You're 9-1 in your last 10. You're still playing good ball. You can never count the Joker out, man. And Russell Westbrook seems to have finally found a place where he fits in. You know, like he just fits. He's not playing the normal crazy hero ball that he did for years after Durant left. He's finally, learned that, like in OKC, he was fighting for the attention with Durant and he was wanting the stardom and he was wanting more notoriety than, Durant was. And then I think he went to Houston after that, right? And he didn't mesh well with Hart. Like he's just been bouncing around, but he never fit with anybody was at. I kind of feel like he's in a place with the Joker and Murphy and all them that like he just kind of fits right now towards like the twilight of his career. You can't count him out. They could do some big things in the playoffs. So I got to go number 5 for Denver.
All right, let's get to number 4. Go ahead, June.
I got the Lakers. I'm taking the Lakers at number 4. That trade. I mean, how many games have they lost since Luka's been there? Maybe
I
one.
think one.
Yeah, I mean, and then they're 8-2 in their last 10 overall. So this is a. When I talked about the Grizzlies teams catching them, the Lakers probably will end up as the number 2 seed when this is all said and done. I think they will. After they beat the way they beat Denver down at home, I mean, that wasn't even, I mean, they beat Denver's ass. I mean, Denver saw something that they played like it was a playoff game. And Denver was caught off guard by how good that duo is going to be, and they have a great supporting cast. And you know, and the supporting cast for the Lakers. They're seeing this and they're saying to themselves, "So I just need to sit back, play defense when I need to, and then these two are going to do the rest. Sign me up for a championship." That's what these two. This is what the supporting cast is looking back at, and they look good. They look like a great team. Like I said, I think they're going to be the number 2 seed when it's all said and done in the West. So yeah, they the number 4 for me right now.
Malin.
Yeah, I gotta agree with June on this. I got the Lakers, man. I just like the Luca, LeBron James, Austin Reeves. Like they're just they're. I do agree with G Money. They don't have a big man.
Yeah.
They don't have a big man, and that could hurt them. But if you were watching that game just against the Dallas game, the passes that Luka's making, I mean, he's like James Harden 2.0 here, man. He took the fat suit off after going from Houston to Brooklyn. Like, he went from Dallas to – there's just something about Texas, man. To get away from that barbecue and shit, get out someplace else and start shedding pounds. Yeah, I mean, he looks thinner. He looks rejuvenated. The LeBron James is also letting people know that, yeah, Luka is the future, but I am still here in the now. I think it's motivated him losing Anthony Davis and not being told about it and all this stuff going down. I really like the Lakers. I think that they could. I'm not sure what they would do in a 7-game series against some teams like a Denver when they don't have a big man, but I like the way they're playing right now. And like June said, I don't know what they do in the 7-game series, but I know what they did in 1 game against Denver. So that's just damn.
Nestor.
At 4, I like OKC. I think they're a really fun team to watch. Very young. SGA, I mean, like I said, it's more of what the league needs. Chet Holmgren, all those guys, really talented. I just think they need a little bit more experience, and that team will get up and running into making a run for a championship. But for now, I think they're just about number 4 on top.
All right. For number 4 with G Money, he's got the Grizzlies. Morant is playing more of a team game, which makes the team better all around. I agree with that. G Money. Number 4 for me, I have got the Denver Nuggets. I mean, the fact that G Money mentioned it earlier, that Jokic looks uninterested, basically. He's averaging a triple-double. So if that's what bored looks like, he can be as bored as he wants. And he's averaging almost 30 points a game in triple-double. So go right ahead. And Denver was a bit disappointing in the playoffs last year. I mean, I say disappointing, even though they still had a deep run. I think that they will be just fine. And adding Russ, like you guys were saying earlier, this is a great fit for him. The best we've seen him play in a long time. So I'm completely down with the Nuggets still. I think they will be just fine. And they're poised to make another run at a title this year. So I've got the Nuggets at 4. We're moving on to the top 3. Go ahead, June.
This is where I got your OKC Thunder. This is a team that was built to win a championship. They play great team basketball. I mean, this is old school. If you watch this team play and you really watch them, this team plays great old school, pass the ball around, let's get to the best player, and they play that team basketball that can win you a championship. I really do believe that with this team. They're playing great. I mean, you know, 8-2 in the last 10 games with this team. SGA is playing out of his freaking mind. He's been playing great since the All Star break, and before the All Star break, this man is playing basketball. Okay, and I just like this team. This is what the Mavericks were supposed to be. Okay, this is what they were supposed to be. Jesus, I just can't believe I got to watch this. But I digress. I like the Thunder. They're a very good team. They play that good brand of team basketball. And if you're a casual NBA fan, you watch this team, you'll be excited about basketball. So I got them at number 3.
Malin. Oh, I think Malin has timed out again. Let's go to Nestor. You can go ahead in the meantime. Maybe he'll be able to reconnect.
3. I will say Cavs. I just think
Interesting.
the record speaks for itself. I don't know. They're just very just rack up a bunch of points on you. I just don't feel like they're bound for to get that ring, but they're just a threat to anybody. Obviously in the East, just because of their just that offense. So yeah, give me the Cavs at 3.
Malin, do you want to give your number 3? Possibly. All right. G Money says he's got the Cavs at number 3. He would have rated them higher, but they can't beat Boston.
Yeah. Essentially.
Right here.
Oh, you're back.
Am
Okay.
I still on this fucking earth? Like, what is going on my internet? Okay. So I got OKC at number 3. Fuck this team, and the state, and the city, and the fans, and the owner. And if you're a casual fan, no, you're not excited about OKC doing anything. They can just kiss my ass. They're good, but you can kiss my ass. And when you want to kiss my ass, OKC, give me like a few days notice, because I'll make sure not to wipe for a few days before you do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, fuck that place. All right, let's go.
Terrible. All right, let's go to number. I don't know if. Well, sorry, I have OKC at number 3 too. So same thing as you guys just said. Number 2. Go ahead, June.
So I was going back and forth, because I was thinking records be damned. So I was watching the Boston play tonight, and I was trying to watch them back and forth tonight. I'm like, did you really just lose to Detroit? But then, y'all gave some positive ravings about Detroit. And I'm like, damn, Boston. So I got them at number 2 right now.
Damn.
8-2 in their last 10. I still think this is the team to beat in the East, but what the hell are you doing right now? What? Now, they could have been looking ahead to Friday's game, because remember, they play the Cavaliers coming Friday. So I'm going to be glued to the TV, and I'm going to watch that game. It's going to be a great game. I'm probably going to go down to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch it. But I want to see this team, especially the last half of the last month of the season. I want to see them just start throttling people again, like they were early in the season. I want to see them get back to throttling people. This team, if they want to go in and they want to show that they still the best team and they're the champs, they're going to have to go back to throttling teams this season, and they need to do it, and they need to start on Friday beating the Cavaliers. So that's who I got as number 2.
June, did you expect us to go 82-0 this year?
Yes.
Somebody expected us to win 74 games. I don't remember
expected-
who that person was.
I said
Somebody.
70. I said at least 70.
Somebody said 74, and I think that like Cleveland.
Did he go ass out again?
His audio just went away. Yeah, we can't hear you anymore.
Oh Lord!
I heard that. Something.
Damn it. Well, at number 2, go ahead, Nestor. Who's your number 2?
Number 2, I got the Lakers. I just believe
Wow.
whatever
Ooh,
you guys
nice.
whatever you guys said, I 2 times that, because I feel like a lot of the reason why I'd say 80%, 90% of the reason why Dallas went as far as they did last 3 or 4 seasons is because of Luka. The best athlete in the league by far, in my opinion, and I think he's not done. This is not Luka at his best with the Lakers.
No.
I think he's gonna get much better. He's still getting used to being on that team, and he looks damn well motivated. So I can imagine this dude in a playoff run. It's gonna be berserk. So yeah, give me Lakers at number 2. I think I would love to see, because that obviously not gonna be the Heat. I would love to see
Yeah,
Boston and the Lakers in the final.
that would be wild.
Woo!
Man,
How
let's switch
was
over
that?
to the phone. Switch over to the phone. I like it.
The Bios. It's wonderful. Fuck these people. So I got Boston at number 2. Only because Cleveland they just keep winning. That's the thing. Like right now I have them at number 2, and I have Cleveland at number 1, obviously, and we'll talk about that. But Boston they don't play consistent enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you beat New York, but then you lose to Detroit. And I know that when they get to the playoffs, that's when it's really going to matter. But they just kind of go up and down a little bit. It gets a little bit frustrating throughout the year. They have all the talent in the world. They should have the number 1 record in the NBA. If they wanted to, I think they could. Sometimes I still think they live and die by the 3 just a little bit too much, but I'd still take myself in to get 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
But Cleveland, man, every time you think Cleveland's going to slip, they're like, hey, you know what? 9-1 in our last 10 again, bitches. So with that being said, I hope Boston throws the shit out of them on Friday. But yeah, sucks.
I've got Cleveland at 2, simply because they can't seem to be Boston.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's the only reason I'm at 2. Besides that, they are a fantastic team right now, and one of the best. G Money says, Malin, stop using Starlink as your internet provider. Elon is putting you in a timeout.
Okay.
Let's go to number 1 here. And at this point, I think it's probably pretty clear where we're all at. But go ahead, June.
I'm taking, it's going to be Cleveland. And that's just because, like Malin said, they just keep winning. These guys find ways to win. I wish they got to beat some bigger teams. Now, they're on an 8-game winning streak. They got to go to Boston. They got to go to Boston if they want us to take them as the for real team. Like as we get close to the playoffs, they're gonna have to show improve like the Lakers did against the Nuggets the other night. In that game against Lakers did against the Nuggets. They got to go in there and they got to beat Boston. They got to say we can beat this team and we can beat them consistently. Because if they can't, they're not going to make it through the playoffs. And they can't let Boston get in their head. And then they play another team in the playoffs and they know that Boston is winning a playoff series. Then they're going to lose that playoff series. So they got to go in with the clear head. This team reminds me so much. I don't know if you guys remember this team, but do you remember that Mavericks team that they lost to the Heat they lost to the Heat in the finals, right? The next year they had the best record in the NBA. You remember that team? And then they lost to the Golden State Warriors. If they lost to their old coach, they lost to Nelly. They lost to Don Nelson in 5. Now that's when it was back to 5-game series, but it's the simple fact of the matter. They had the best record. They were beating everybody. They was great through the regular season. They got into the playoffs and they just shit the bed. Cleveland kind of reminds me of that team. So I'm going to be watching them on Friday just to see what they can do against Boston because they remind me of that Mavericks team that shit the bed in the playoffs that year. So, but I do got them at number 1, and that's because they just, like Malin said, during this regular season, they just keep winning. So we'll see what happens.
Malin.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They have more wins than us, so giving them the 1 for now. I still totally expect us to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Win the East. And they have beat us one time, Jalen. They have beat us one time. We've beaten them 2 out of 3. This is gonna if they're like 5-6 games up on us and they beat us on Friday, then that makes them kind of more legitimate in my mind. But if we end up 3-1 against them and they're 6 games up on us in the regular season, you look a little bit more fraudulent to me. So I think we're making this top 10 just a couple days too early because I'd really like to see how that Friday game kind of pans out. But at the end of the day, when the playoffs start, I don't think there's a team in the East that can go 7 games with Boston. I think there's enough in the East that could cause Boston, if they want to get sloppy, to go too many 7 games and be tired out by the time they get to the finals. But I still think Boston's going to turn it on. They just haven't turned it on yet.
Right.
Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah, no way in hell do I see the Cleveland Cavaliers in the final. It just doesn't exist. So I have to give it to Boston. Yeah, they're gonna turn it on, and in my opinion, they're still the more complete team than Cleveland. Yeah. So maybe Boston.
Yeah, I also have Boston at number 1. Us losing to teams that we should beat. It's kind of the story of the past several years. Like, this is this team's kind of reputation. Like, yeah, we'll lose some stupid games. I've kind of gotten over at this point. Like, after last year, we were doing that then, and the end result was us winning a title. So it's like, for whatever reason, these dudes will just take nights off. Mentally, physically, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. They just take nights off when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So knowing that this is this team's identity, it is what it is. I know that once it comes to a 7-game series in a playoff situation, they're usually pretty damn good. So
yeah,
I'm still going to keep them at number 1. Ultimately, it's good to see that we all have pretty similar lists. Like, most of the teams were within a spot or 2 of each other. So Was it?
I think I
anything
just had the
crazy?
wildest. I had the Nuggets. I had them the lowest of pretty much
Yeah, you
everybody
did
else.
them
I
pretty
think.
low. You did them pretty low. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. I had them pretty low, but there's a method to my madness.
All right, folks, we're going to go to break, take a nice 10-minute halftime here. If you want to follow June, we have his TikTok link down in the description below. So if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, want to stay up to date with what the Cowboys are up to, what is Jerry Jones talking about? Drafting another quarterback in this year's draft.
Ugh.
June is going to be talking. That's all June. That's all June. That's another reason you'll follow him over there. So,
Yeah.
yes, always link down in the description below. But with that being said, we'll have G Money on the other side to hit the ride or die in 5 with some NBA picks this weekend. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. June, thank you so much. And we will see you guys in about 10 minutes.
So some people decided to get some hate on my take. CeeDee Lamb, not top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Your boy currently 32nd in the league in receptions, number 10 in yards, 35th in touchdown. That doesn't sound elite. There's 32 teams in the NFL, and this man is below 32 in 2 out of 3 major categories. So go ahead, Cowboys fans. Blame Dak, blame McCarthy, but your boy CeeDee Lamb is not even a top 30 wide receiver in 2 out of 3 categories in the NFL. You have Tom Brady on your bench, Nestor?
Yeah.
How do you have on his roster? That might be one of the reasons why you're trash, man.
I did that when I was already eliminated. There was 1 week where Tom Brady got more points than Travis Etienne. Etienne, there was a week he got negative 0.2 points.
I think my team is still a good team.
You're eliminated, June.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Am I eliminated?
You're eliminated too. We're all eliminated.
Oh,
Except for G Money.
I'm not doing shit then.
What was that noise? Why is it that everyone is just unanimously assuming that Lamar Jackson is running away with the MVP race right now? Lamar Jackson, 68% completion, 2,300 yards, 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 500 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. I'm looking at Josh Allen, 64 completion. He's got over 2,000 yards. He's 17-2. And he's only got 260 yards rushing, but he has 3 touchdowns. I think it's a lot closer. Baltimore has a better running back. I don't think that Shakir or Coleman or Kincaid are better than Flowers and Andrews, likely. Lamar Jackson has better weapons around him. Josh Allen is keeping pace with less around him. And I think that it's like a 1A, 1B right now between those two.
Fuck.
Well, I just got 2 miles of this damn stadium.
Can I get a Miller Lite, man? Miller.
It's like $18.
Fuck. We're Road G. Season 21, 22. And LSU I apologize. Old drinks.
You're good. You're good.
I want to know what happened to Baltimore's defense. The Bucs ain't this good.
Incomplete. 3rd and goal.
Technically, it's 101st.
Holding. Bring that shit back. You're a wizard.
$1 more would have gotten you a highlight.
They conned us. They conned us into this.
Some bullshit.
Excuse me, sir. There's a lot of elderly Ravens fans right here.
Yes, the Baltimore Colts marching band back when they used to have a marching band.
A lot of popcorn.
Well, there goes our points.
There goes our points. Why are you so mad, man?
Tyler Butler.
He's so angry. They're going to the exit.
Henry on the carry. Held down by Levante David. 2nd and 11 at the 41.
You lucked out with Brady. 3.
That shit don't matter. Better get
So you bet me 4-3?
Yeah, we 4-3, and we gonna win our division. Y'all will not.
No, you're not even going to.
Atlanta way better than you. Crazy. Oh shit!
Aaron Rodgers. He has to be in the perfect situation for him to have worked out. They're going to have to make a decision next year. I hope they make the right decision and let the guy go.
I think they brought in Aaron Rodgers wanting to win a Super Bowl, but you got to remember who the team is. It's the Jets. When have they ever, even when it seems like they make the right move, it ends up being the wrong move? People give the Cowboys crap year in and year out when they don't win a Super Bowl, yet they won 12 games 3 years in a row. But it seems like Aaron Rodgers always gets a freaking pass. It's always somebody else's fault when it comes to Aaron Rodgers not even getting back to a Super Bowl.
The offense is fine. It's that defense that needs some help, but this defense has got to be fixed.
They can be great. I wouldn't necessarily call them frauds. I just think they're fraudulent at times.
They are exactly what we saw last season. They're not frauds. I just feel like they are the Ravens.
I guess I'm going to be the one person that comes on here and calls them frauds. But their secondary is terrible. They'll let anybody come in there and throw a party on them.
Right.
Justin Tucker, he has the yips.
Don't even get June going on that Ravens defense going up against Kellen Moore offense.
Kellen Moore had a first grade math workbook as his play calling sheet,
And
and he ran circles around.
It's like the Bills in the 90s, man. People don't realize that the Bills and the Dolphins pretty much played every year for the AFC Championship game and played for the AFC East, and the Dolphins always lost. It was in their head, and that's what it seems to be now. It's just in Tua's head.
Tua needs great people around him for him to be great. Josh Allen makes other people around him better than what they are. When you have a quarterback like that, you're going to beat the quarterback that needs the people more often than not. Buffalo is the standard still. middle in the AFC East right now.
The Dolphins defense cannot contain Josh Allen. Just looking back the past couple years, this past game, he threw for 235 yards. When they played them earlier this year, only 139 yards, but that was game 2 and went down, and they just ran the ball all over the Dolphins. Playoff game, 359 yards, 320 yards, 304 yards, 400 yards. He is
and everybody
torched
can
them.
continue to laugh at me when I say that the Lions are better. No,
Come on, dog. You gotta let that shit go.
Hold on.
You have to let that shit
Even
go, bro.
the power rankings on ESPN and NFL Network are agreeing with me. Pro Football Focus agrees
eye
with me.
test.
And here's the
Eye
thing.
test, bro.
Yeah, the eye test. Eye test is easy because Detroit's blowing people out and Kansas City is barely winning games. Kansas City is plus 56 on point differential. They've scored 203 points, given up 147. Detroit, on the other hand, has scored 258, given up 148. They're plus 110. They're more than 50 points better in the point differential than Kansas City. And luck has everything to do with it sometimes when you win games and when you have the refs help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of your favorite show on the internet. We are joined by the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the Seattle Sonics biggest fan, G Money. What is going on?
You know, watching some basketball, watching some college basketball right now with Kentucky and Oklahoma. Getting ready for the NCAA tournament. I tell you, this is a good time. You know, past the NBA All-Star game, now these games really matter. They count. They count in the NBA. Yeah, the games before that, they didn't count. Nobody cared. And now everybody's caring. You know, great time. Great time.
Amen. With all of that being said, let's start off the second half of this week's show with the cheers to a successful second half. What are you guys sipping on this week?
Because my Kraken playing so bad, I'm going to drown my sorrows in some Kraken rum.
I got some Weller Special Reserve. I'm throwing back.
So
I'm
following up with
what's going on with you two.
Nestor's cracking up.
You guys are like drinking goat piss or something. What is going on over there? What are you guys? Nestor gonna throw up?
Maybe.
Oh shit!
I just.
No, we don't need that again, Nestor.
Smooth.
I mean,
we're
swimming on.
It's all smooth.
That again. Whatever you guys are drinking, it looks super smooth.
It's tequila.
Oh, because that's always been a good idea.
the moose juice. Okay. Shout out to August Doggy in the chat. He asked where y'all got the Warriors. August, pretty much all of us had the Warriors somewhere under the 5 mark, between 5 and 10. So
got him at 10. Sorry, August.
Hate to disappoint.
Be upset at me.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think I had them at like 7.
G Money, you did have them. You had them at 8 there. So yeah,
At 8, yeah.
towards the bottom half, August, to answer your question. Although you could have gone back in the stream and saved yourself a little bit of time. Just saying. Let's do some community comments. Last week, myself, Nestor, G Money drafted our own NBA teams. And I will say these results are the results of the draft are a little odd just because we were expecting Malin to be there. Because he was not, it kind of threw things off with us having more availability than what we thought we would have originally. But the consensus throughout YouTube, TikTok, Instagram was that yours truly had the best team. I can tell you my team off the top of my head. Oh God,
Say
maybe
Luka.
I can't.
That's what they remember. They remember. Oh, he picked Luka.
I did have Luca. I had Steph. I had
Did you have Tatum?
Wemby. I had Tatum and
Pretty good.
KD. I think
Pretty
KD was my fifth person. G Money. I don't remember if you can recall who you had.
I had the Joker. I had Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I had
You had
Trae Young.
You had Siakam.
I had Siakam. I was looking for a power forward right at the end there, and I was stumbling around.
Yeah, that
And
was
And you had LeBron. I think LeBron was your fifth guy.
LeBron was my
Nestor was definitely dead last though, by a wide margin.
With Giannis and
Nestor had Giannis.
and SGA. Really?
SGA.
First
This
of
is
all,
why you don't do tequila on this show.
whoever we all knew whoever picked Luca was gonna win. Because TikTok just glazes Luca. No, he is the best player in the league.
Oh.
You could have picked Russell Westbrook after Luca. You would have won.
I could have picked 4 Russell Westbrooks and it would have been just fine. Yeah, I think he had Giannis. He
had a
had
bad.
I don't know why I can think it's just Giannis. He had
Brunson, I think.
You had Brunson,
A solid team.
SGA.
TikTok.
I'm surprised y'all didn't like
Temperature,
SGA
IQ.
TikTok. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, what's up with TikTok?
That was
I mean,
man.
do
That
they-
was my team.
His team was good though.
Oh, thank you.
No lie.
I was trying to tell you guys. Remember the audience. Remember, this is not a tournament on court. This is a TikTok voting ballot here. So, with that being said, all right, let's get serious here. Let's get to what you actually came here for. Ride or Die in 5 picks, folks. This is where we give you the 5 best betting picks this weekend as far as sports goes. And this is all NBA games, of course. That's all it's going to be for the remainder of the season here, besides the Masters, whenever that is. So let's get in. Thank you. Let's get to the first game of the week. Oh, sorry. Before I hit that, like Malin said, fuck the Denver Nuggets, because what the hell? We would have went 5-0 last week if it wasn't for the Nuggets shitting the bed against the Lakers and handing us a fat L. So we all went 4-1. Malin is plus 64. He's in first place. I am plus 60 in second place. G Money is plus 44 in third, and Nestor is plus 29, bringing up the rear there. So
They did worse than shitting the bed last week, man. Like that should have been a cakewalk 5-0. Like I joined late. I went over my 5 picks, and you guys were laughing that they were the same exact as all 3 of yours throughout the whole thing. Like they shit the bed, they fucked a fat chick on top of the shit, then they lit it on fire. Like that's what happened with Denver and the Lakers. It's just disgraceful.
I mean, we'd all be driving Lambos right now, but instead we have to sell from fucking Nissan Sentras.
With the $50 that I bet on every game. Maybe I'll be able to afford a Lambo in GTA 6. I don't know.
I'll take a good Sentra. It's good on gas.
He said I'll take a good I drove a Sentra. If you want to feel invisible on the road and like nobody cares who you are in the entire world, then go ahead and drive a Nissan Sentra. That's pretty much what it's
Take
like.
that back. All right, let's go. First game tomorrow night. This one is in Orlando, folks. In the O, Golden State against the Magic. We've got. This is a barn burner here. The Orlando Magic have been advertising the shit out of this game. I was just in Orlando recently, and they really want you to know that a good, relevant team's in town. Tomorrow night at 7:00, G Money. Which one you got?
Hey, I like Golden State. I mean, Orlando, is underachieving. They are straight up underachieving for the team they have. And as we saw, once Jimmy Butler got out of Miami, he turned into Jimmy Butler of old. And with him, with Steph, with Draymond, yeah, give me Golden State.
I'm with you there, G Money. I've got the Warriors there. Orlando right now, they're just in the last 10, they're just a 500 basketball team. Rather than Golden State, they're 7-3. This Jimmy Butler trade has done wonders for them. Also, Cole Anthony, which is one of the best players on the Magic, kind of day to day, so there's a very good chance that he won't even be playing tomorrow night. So home, away, I don't think it really matters here. Give me the Warriors, one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, to go to Orlando and get a dub. Malin.
Yeah, when you have to buy every billboard in Orlando to try to make Orlando people think that your team is relevant, that means you're not relevant. Give me Golden State. I don't even have the bandwidth on my Wi-Fi to justify even saying why. I'm just taking Golden State.
That's fair. Go ahead, Nestor.
yeah, I'm not betting against Golden State when they're playing against Orlando. So
And I'm not betting against you guys.
give me Golden State.
He's like, fuck that island.
yeah.
Yeah, the Orlando Island is not an island you want to die on.
No.
That's not, yeah.
All right, let's go to the next game. Big one here, Friday night at 7:30. We've got the Cavs going to Boston to play the champs from last year. Give me the Celtics, man. Cleveland has only beat us one time. I'm kind of glad we took this L tonight against Detroit. Whatever. Go ahead and have that little loss. Hopefully this wakes us up a bit so that come Friday, let the fire under our ass. We know that a legit title contending team is coming into town. Let's go ahead and play up to the competition and squander the Cleveland Cavaliers here. So, not going to lie, had we won against the Pistons, it would be a little more concerning to me. But now I'm like, all right, they'll hit the reset button. They'll come to play legit. Give me my Celtics at home to beat the Cavs. Go ahead, Malin.
The Celtics know they're better. They just don't always play like they're better night in and night out. It concerns me sometimes that the Celtics act like they've won the title the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
When it comes to this year's regular season, I think they're taking too many games for granted and too many nights off. But this is not a night that I think they'll take off. I'm looking for that 3 to come back. Tatum, Brown. Brown seemed a little bit off the last couple of games. Even when they beat New York, Brown seemed a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to come back. They want to set a precedent that they're still, no matter how many games ahead Cleveland is right now, Boston wants to set a precedent a month before the playoffs that, yeah, you could be above us in wins, but you're still going to have to go through Boston to get to the final. So I'm taking Boston.
Nestor.
Yeah, I'm absolutely taking Boston. I don't feel like Cleveland can beat the Celtics, so maybe Boston.
And G-Money.
Yeah, I mean, what more is there to say? The only issue I have with Boston, and I don't understand this, and maybe someone else can explain it to me, but they have a worse winning percentage at home this year than they do on the road.
Wow.
Yeah. But they are playing a lot better since the All-Star break. And I just, though, yeah, Cleveland is, I like Cleveland. I do. And I really like seeing them play well, win this game. And I do believe when it's all said and done, Boston wins the East.
That's what I'm talking about. What I like to hear.
All right. We're all in agreement there. Let's go on to the next
What a shocker.
We've got later Friday night. The Battle of LA, as folks love to call it. We got the Clippers at the Lakers. I guess now they are at the Lakers because they now have two different stadiums, so that's nice. We've got Clippers at Lakers. We're gonna start with Malin. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, Clippers have more toilets than anybody else. But they don't have to shit in bed. They can just shit in the toilet. Because that's what they're going to do against the Lakers. The Lakers is playing do well. Steve Ballmer, he can yell all he wants to and remind us about those toilets. They got a nice arena. But the Lakers still run LA. Now you got Luka. Steve Ballmer must have took a shit in every single one of them toilets, that goddamn arena. Once the Lakers made that trade for Luka, he had to have been pissed off out of his mind. But give me the Lakers, man. They just been playing like just clean, fun, exciting ball. Like there's a flow and a smoothness to the way they're playing right now, and it's not just LeBron James. It's not just Luka, who still hasn't, in my mind, had like one of those monster scoring games. But he's an assist machine, getting tons of rebounds, which you're going to need him to if you don't have the big man. They kind of wish they had. But yeah, give me the Lakers over Clips.
Nestor.
Yeah, no way I'm picking this functional team over, the Lakers having Luka now and LeBron playing like the Heat days. So yeah, no, give me the Lakers.
G Money.
My God, are we going to all pick the same teams all the way through? I mean, I honestly don't see the Lakers. Seeing the Clippers win this game. They have a great arena, brand new. It's pretty, but maybe he should have spent the money in free agency. Should have got some younger, better talent than what he has. I don't see them winning, and give me the Lakers.
I'm not gonna disagree with you, boys. Lakers are at home. They look like a rejuvenized team once Lucas stepped in. So, yeah, Clippers look crusty. Lakers look ready to rumble. So, all right, let's go on to the fourth game here. Saturday night game. We've got the Bucks going to Dallas. Nestor, we are going to start with you.
This is the only difficult one just because I don't trust the Bucks away. I really don't. Even with Dallas not having AD.
Anthony Davis.
So, God, I hate this. I just feel like, damn it. Give me the Mavs. I just feel like they're gonna do it just for absolutely no reason. Give me the Mavs at home.
G Money.
Yeah, as Nestor said, this is a tough game. You look at it, you think, oh well, it shouldn't be because Dallas has like the Lakers they have no interior defense, right? Because AD's out for 2 to 4 weeks and maybe longer than that. And there are other Lively's out for the rest of for the season. So who do they have? But I just it's just hard. I'm going to go with Dallas. It's just hard. So yeah, give me Dallas.
I have got to take Milwaukee on this one. Finally, we have some adversity here. Bucks 6-4 in the last 10. Mavs 5-5. In this scenario, I think the Bucks are not coming off a back-to-back, while the Mavs will have a game on Friday night. So even though these teams are kind of evenly matched here, just off of a kind of fatigue or rest situation, I'm going to assume that the Bucks will be a little more well rested. Anthony Davis, he's Anthony Davis. Just give me the Bucks here. I'm feeling the Bucks here with a more rested team in this situation. Again, neither one is head and shoulders above the other team, so I'm gonna ride with the Bucks at a little bit of difference here in the picks, which is the first time that's happened in the last 2 weeks. So go ahead, Malin.
I'm taking Dallas. I think Irving is playing with a hell of a chip on his shoulder.
He is.
He's like, you want to get rid of Luka? Fine. Davis, you want to get hurt? Fine. He just has them competitive in most games. And you know what? Like, Christie's been showing up. I think in the 9 games that Christie has played in Dallas, I think 5 of those 9 games were the highest scoring games he had of the season. Like, he's been playing well. I don't trust Milwaukee. I haven't watched them enough to know why I don't trust them, other than the fact that they're terrible on the road, and they're one of the more inconsistent teams in the NBA. But I have been watching Dallas. I see how competitive they are. And as much as we say we love the Lakers, like, they had it within like 1 point or tied with 6 minutes left against the Lakers the other night. So I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas.
All right. I'm on that island there, that Milwaukee Island. So
Milwaukee Island. He ain't near a goddamn ocean.
pray for me for that one, people at home. All right. Let's get to the last game here, which is between the T-Wolves and the Suns. This is Sunday night. G-Money, we're going to start with you.
Minnesota. Phoenix is 2-8 the last 10 games. They've lost 2. This is what happens when you have an owner that thinks that this is fantasy basketball. So you you get players, you try to trade for players, and all of a sudden the team just isn't as good as it was when you went to the finals. It's just nowhere close to being as good as the team that went to the finals. Give me Minnesota. Give me Ant-Man, who's on my team, by the way, TikTok motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that one, but I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns at home in this one, which I kind of don't like doing, but looking at how things are shaping up in this one, T-Wolves are a 500 basketball team in the last 10 games here. The Suns are significantly worse. They're 2-8. However, injury-wise, Minnesota is down 3 starters. Rudy Gobert is out as of right now. We'll see what happens come this weekend, but they're out a couple other people. Oh, I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but Gobert obviously being the highlight there. So if he's still out come this weekend, the Suns can and should win this game. I mean, come on. At this point, like, if Gobert is not playing, if he plays, then I will be wrong, and that's that. But if he's not playing, I would like to think that the Suns can beat that team, because just off of that alone, come on. Go ahead, Malin.
I mean, Minnesota's out 3 starters and is still playing better than Phoenix. How did Kevin Durant go into Phoenix make him worse? Like, doesn't it just seem like forever ago that Phoenix was in the damn finals? I don't understand what happened to this team. Like, like I was talking earlier about Ja Morant disappearing. Hey, Booker, what happened to you since you broke your nose in the finals?
Yep.
Like, what is going on? Like,
Bradley Beal, you're out of Washington, man. Put on a smile and play some ball. Like, what are we doing with this Phoenix team? I mean, them being 2-8 is just dog shit. You better say something.
That was Nestor had Booker on his team. That was the other person that was on his team.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Told you the popularity contest. And
But yeah, man, I gotta take Minnesota. I mean, I know people are hurt. I know they've been playing 500 ball because they have been injured. But even with Phoenix more healthy, they're not playing well. 2-8. Like, I mean, they're playing about as bad as Kevin Durant's ankles are ashy. I don't understand what this Phoenix team does, man, but I can't trust picking them right now. I just can't. So I'm taking this.
It's understandable. Nestor, bring us home.
I think the Suns are just a great team. No, I'm just kidding. No, I can't. Not with the Suns. I can't fake this. It's just they're that bad. They're that fraudulent. Give me Minnesota. Ant-Man and crew should handle them.
Well, folks, let's recap here. We have Golden State at Orlando tomorrow night. We are all taking Golden State. Friday night, we are all taking the Celtics at home to beat the Cavs. Later Friday night, we're all taking the Lakers at home to beat the Clips. Saturday night, everyone here besides yours truly is taking the Mavs to beat the Bucks. And then Sunday nights, everyone here is taking the T-Wolves to beat the Suns, besides yours truly. So everyone in agreement except 2 games this week. So the only difference between last week is that I am on my own in 2 games. So one of them I'm feeling a bit more confident in is in the Milwaukee-Dallas, because I feel like that's kind of a coin flip game. The Suns, you know what, if I'm wrong on that, it is what it is.
I think you picked the Suns just because you want to try to catch me.
I gotta be different somewhere.
I think you're just trying to throw a wild card out there to see what happens.
That's the only way it's gonna happen. So, gotta start pulling some strings. Gotta throw the ball down the field here. All right.
I damn near counted your Phoenix with picking with you on that, just kind of strategically. But I was like, I'm not gonna let them fake me out on who I think they're gonna win.
All right. Hey, we'll see what happens again. Folks at home, if you rode with us last week, that's 4-1. You made money. You made good money last week. So this week, we'll see what happens.
If you did the money line, if you took the points, you might not have gone 4-1. I'm just going to throw that out there. But do the money line like we do.
Line, right.
That Lambo is going to be in the garage at some point.
Might be in 30 years. But you'll get
You might have to steal it, but it'll be in the damn garage.
Look, G-Money's, this is not financial advice, just his opinion. All right. Anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap this up?
The only thing I have on the NBA, and I'm throwing this out to you and Nestor, do me a favor. Come up with like $6.5 billion and buy the Celtics so we can finally get the fucking Sonics back to Seattle, because that's the only thing that's holding up. They're waiting for the Celtics to sell so they can set the price on the 2 new franchises. So
interesting.
Nestor, I know you're a whiz with numbers.
Their jerseys would go hard. I'm just
They
saying.
would.
They would feed families.
So we got we got to up the bet on the ride or die in 5 is what we got to do.
Yeah. That's what that
Yeah, like maybe, I don't know,
Go big or go home.
$100,000.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Or we've got to find something that's like 1,000 to 1. Like I don't know, the Pelicans winning the NBA championship. I don't know what the odds are. It's got to be like at least 5,000 to 1.
Let's go.
And
That's the only hope we got of getting Sonics back. It ain't happening.
Masters in
I know.
April.
That is the
Go
dream,
crazy.
and as we know, some people get shot for them. So, I mean, yeah.
All right, we need to wrap this up. On that note.
Alrighty, guys.
On that note.
My bad. Okay.
Like,
Yep. Good night.
We will talk to you all next week. Thank you all for watching, listening. See y'all. Peace out.
Peace out.